Now let's begin the conversation. We cannot stop natural disasters from happening, but we can arm ourselves with knowledge to prevent casualties with adequate preparation and response. A catastrophic flood struck Mokwa, a market town in Niger State, north-central Nigeria, following a torrential rainfall and the collapse of a nearby dam. The death toll has exceeded 200, and over 500 individuals are reported missing and presumed dead. In response to the disaster, President Bola Tinubu has pledged immediate relief efforts and national emergency response. Okay, Double O, the one famously known Olayinka, thank you so much for joining us. So let's look at this one. I mean, yesterday, we heard that the death toll keeps increasing. Yes, we know it's an act of God, but talk to me. Are there things that you think could have been done, maybe to reduce the devastation or to reduce the casualty figure?
In both ways, or whatever way you look at it, yes, it's a natural disaster, and there are things that could have been done to ameliorate it or to make sure we don't have that level of disaster. However, in my own record, the government has its own blame, and we as citizens also have our own blames. One, we are living in a country where the government is either afraid of taking decisions that will hurt people, but in the long run will be for their betterment.
The unpopular decision.
Yes. And also, the government, apart from that, is also not ready to take any decision. Because we are talking of Niger now. In another 2 weeks down the road, I give it the most, we'll move to other things. And it will happen again.
And we just
Niger is not the first place where it happened.
True.
The number of casualties will have been ameliorated if government had been doing what it's supposed to do. One, I know places here in Lagos and in my own neighborhood where people are built on flood plains. And when you talk, people will say, what do you want them to do? That's where their money can afford and all that. And then when government officials come, government officials don't even take the decision they are supposed to take. And when the few ones that they take, we are the people that will also come and say, this government is wicked. Why did they do this? Why did they do that? When looking at what happened in Mokwa, I know Mokwa somehow because at least we traveled through it on those days when the roads were free, were safe. And you know that there are some places where people have built homes, and you know that, look, this place, it is not supposed to be a place where people will build their homes. But we have a situation where government is afraid because people will talk. And you know, the best decision or the most harsh decisions are taken by government that at some point will close its eyes to all what entities people are saying. People will blame you. You are a wicked government. They don't have the make of human kindness and all that. But in the long run, you will know that the government has taken the right decision. In this case now, I still believe that 200 is still an undercount because the level of devastation I've seen, I mean, when I saw it, it was just like, it was a massive flood, everything on its way, clearing everything on its way. So I think it's a very, very unfortunate event, but also you need to ask government. Ecological fund, where does it go? Because most times you find out that states collect ecological fund, and the ecological fund goes into campaign pocket, goes into something else and all that. So we must not just continue to lament every day and talk, oh, government is this, government is that. On our own part, we must also do our...
Absolutely.
And when we blame government, as we always say, government is an amorphous body. You and I are also government.
Yes.
But you see, people that government send out, if for instance, there are people who are built on the floodplains, and this happened, I expect that the government will take decision. Look at your files. Who approved building on those?
Now, we're still going to get to that. We're still going to get to that point. I mean, the president has, you know, directed the National Emergency Response, you know, to see to the needs, the humanitarian needs of the people. But let's do a quick assessment. I mean, how do you assess the rescue effort so far? I mean, from the federal government, from the state government, what's your assessment of it?
So let me first say, the president actually issued that order. And I was thinking that the effort would be swifter, you know, as it going there, immediately that thing happened. And I feel that all state government must have effective emergency management agency, whereby when once anything happens, they should be able to know that, okay, this is what they will do, not waiting for the national, you know, all the time. At least the state should be able to ameliorate, you know, do the groundwork, and when the national come, they will be able to. And so far, yesterday, relief materials did not even get to the victims. It's just today. If you notice, you will see it's just today that they are getting it. You know, and that was after we have been on this story since Thursday. That this story, the incident happened Friday. We are there Saturday, Sunday. Yesterday we are still shouting, and I was still wondering. As yesterday, I was asking, what is the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs doing? After all, it's under his unit. He should be there, seeing what he can do. The people are crying of shelters. Most of them, their houses have been washed away. About 260 homes destroyed completely. So most of them are now moving to where their relatives are, and that is where they are living. So emergency situations, I feel all state governments must begin to think of building temporary shelters when disasters happen. So that immediately this happens, you move those who are alive and you move them there. Let them be there for a while, and while you are sorting out other things. This is a major situation. And don't forget, the Meteorological Agency had predicted that 15 states will be affected. Niger was one of them.
Yeah, they even said 30 states, including
they had high risk. So the other states, are they preparing? I know that today, I think Kogi State Governor Kogi was actually trying to do something today. What of Bayelsa? Are they working towards it? What of Rivers? What of Delta? Borno, we experienced Borno, you know, I think last year, you know, Borno experienced last year. Benue, Plateau, all those states that are prone to this flood, are they preparing? Although Benue has his own problem with insecurity and all that. But the thing is, they still need to prepare for disaster.
No, I think also the nearby states should also galvanize themselves and rescue and offer
I need
assistance.
your opinion, okay, just to add to what he said. We talked about what, according to NIMET, 30 states, including the FCT, at risk. But as a journalist, what will you advise these states? I mean, that to do so that we don't have this kind of casualties, the kind of casualties we have in Mokwa. Well,
there's hardly any advice you can give, because all these are natural disasters. We know.
But it can happen anytime.
Anytime and anywhere. But what we want state governments or even local governments, because that's the nearest. The one I'm talking about, in my neighborhood that I'm talking about, is if the local government have done what they are supposed to do, they will ameliorate that. So it's not we should not be looking at state government or federal government at every time. The issue now is that there are some things that they need to do.
Things like what?
One, they have surveyors, they have architects, they have everything in local government or in all states. And they have town planners. They need to go around and look at areas that are flood prone. People are building houses anywhere. And when you talk, they will tell you that it is where their money can afford. It is only in Nigeria or maybe in Africa that you see poor or indigent people build homes by river banks. In other climes, there are rich people that build homes at river banks.
Yeah, beach
because,
houses.
Exactly, because they know they have the money to do whatever they need to do. But in our own situation, people will just go and buy a piece of land and they know that is by the river bank. And then when it happens, they will be crying government.
Who should we blame?
No,
is it the person building the house or the government?
The planning authorities, and also the planning authorities are the major culprit in this. And all we need to emphasize is that, look, there are things that...
Double O, just hold that thought, okay? We have Dr. Paul calling in from Asaba. Dr. Paul, let's talk.
Structure.
Hello, Dr. Paul, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Let's talk. Go ahead.
Not Dr. Paul. Chief Paul is somebody.
All right, Chief Paul. Apologies. Go ahead.
My name is Chief Paul, not Doctor.
Go ahead.
Go
ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. What we are discussing today is shameful. It's to say the least. Yeah. To say the least, it is shameful.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you so much, Chief Paul. Now, I asked that question that who should we blame? But let's also look at it from another different angle. You know, let's talk meteorology. I asked my, resource persons yesterday, is there something that we can do whereby meteorology would tell the people that, hey, from this day to this day, expect flooding. Those who are living in the low area should go to that. Is there some mechanism that can be done?
Because I know that things like it happen.
Yeah.
They sensitize people. I know, like Lagos State, for instance, they will tell you the number of days that rain will fall.
Yeah.
And then if you are living on maybe the low plain areas, move to the higher plain. But when you say move, where are they moving to? Are you going to provide maybe a temporary shelter, which I just alluded to earlier? You understand? Something very small that at least they'll be able to know that, okay, I'm moving from point A to point B. That is one. Then two, attitudinal change of people. Nigerians must also know that when it rains, do not carry your waste and put
the drainage.
Exactly. In fact, that's the most...
You understand? Don't do that.
It's the blockage
because
of drainages.
that is one of the things that is also causing it. People shout about climate change. We talk about more about climate change and all. That is climate change. This is climate change that is happening.
Yeah.
And the effects, we do not know how long it's going to take. This is Niger. Tomorrow, are we preparing for another day? Because the thing is, after that, when there is this sensitization about people moving, let people move. What you can carry, carry. And don't build on, I said something, don't build on places that you know would always be flooded. There's somewhere in Ketu, all the time, there's no how, when they open the dams, that place is always flooded. You still see people still building there.
That is one thing I respect.
People will still be,
Lagos State
has to go there and say, guys, this place is a canal.
That is one thing. That is one thing I respect the Commissioner for Environment, Tokunbo Wahab, for.
It's not mincing words at all. He's going there and he's doing his work.
You don't have to like him. The job has to be done.
That is exactly
that unpopular
part of what I was talking about. Because we have a situation where people now resort to emotional blackmail.
Exactly.
This. He's having, where will he have money to do this? Where will he have money to do that? The government must act when it needs to act.
Absolutely. All right, just hold that thought. We have Abdurrahman calling in from Kano. Abdurrahman, let's talk. Hello, Abdurrahman. Hello, don't listen to yourself. Just go ahead. Let's talk. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hello.
Good evening. You're live.
Hello. Are you hearing me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Hello. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm calling from Kano regard to. I'm referring to the Mokwa issue, which is happening now. What is happening now? Mokwa issue. I noticed that the government the NEMA did not take prompt action, as Asukwa have said, and that issue is not good at all. We should respect we should try as much as possible to do things in a way that will.
All right, then. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, gentlemen.
For closure.
Just in 30 seconds.
Yes, 30 seconds. It shouldn't just be only about giving relief materials.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are the composing bodies lying everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
So the ministry that is involved has to step in. They have to go to Niger and see how they can clear, because if not, we'll have another epidemic.
Exactly.
The aftermath of it is the issue.
Absolutely.
And most times we blame NEMA. We blame some of these things.
All right. Okay, but anyway.
But when the thing is that of NEMA, they gave them relief materials.
Okay.
Then the thing is, they were keeping it in Mina.
All right, gentlemen. All right, gentlemen.
Why not just move it straight to Mokwa?
All right, gentlemen. Well, our heart goes out. Our heart goes out to the people, the government of Niger State. You know, as they go through all of this, our heart goes out to them and to those who've died as well. So let's move straight to our next conversation.